Hello everyone, I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street, and today we are unboxing the Linksys WRT1900ACS wireless router. Alright everyone, so I've been using a Cisco Linksys router. It's like a Linksys router, but it says Cisco on it. It's a small business router, and it's what I've been using for years in the house that I live in. I took it with me when my family moved last year. However, it's been crapping out recently, long story short, so I decided to pick up a new router, or my family decided to pick up a new router, and of course that task was delegated to me. Now I took a look at some Ubiquiti solutions, and that's an enterprise grade sort of system that you can get from Ubiquiti, the Unify line that they've got. I took a look at some of those, but I ultimately decided that that's a little overkill for this house that I'm in right now, because I'm really the only one in this house that cares about internet performance. So I wanted something decent, but I didn't want to really break the bank. I didn't want a whole lot of setup involved, but I did want something that was going to be a lot more dependable than what we have now. So I ended up coming across the Linksys WRT series, and that's a series of routers that are designed for you to flash open source firmware onto. So a little bit later in this video, we're actually going to flash an open source Linux-based firmware onto this router, and that's like a supported function on the router, which is awesome. Without further ado though, we are going to unbox the thing. Now I ordered this directly from Linksys' website. I thought about going through Amazon or Newegg, but all the offers I found were actually through third-party sellers. None of them were actually from Amazon or Newegg. And by the way, the 1900 ACS is not the newest in the WRT line. It's the second newest. The newest one came out last year. It wasn't a whole lot different than this one. Some slightly updated things in it, but this was sort of close to the top of the line, but it was not the newest. So yeah, it's a couple years old, and I'm not sure if that had to do with the availability. So like I said, I ordered it directly from Linksys' website. Now I received this on my front door today, and it says Linksys on the side. I'm a little concerned because, you know, if you take a look at the sides of this box, it does not look very nicely boxed. I can feel something shifting around in it. If there's bubble wrap in here, that's perfectly fine, but just to the naked eye, this does not exactly look like top-notch packaging. I was a little concerned when I saw the state of the box that this was in. But I am going to go ahead and open up a knife here, and I am going to go ahead and slice this open. Is my address on here? Probably, but I'm done rotoscoping things, so if my address is on here, then you're just going to have my address. I've been rotoscoping another video for months. I am not going to rotoscope any longer. So I am carefully slicing this box open. It's a little difficult. Alright, here we go. Now, because the box is so loose, it's difficult to get the knife exactly where it's supposed to be. Here we go. Alright, I got one little slice in, and then the whole thing just kind of opened up. Okay, so yeah, the tape holding this together wasn't very strong either. Opening this up here. Alright, and here's what we have inside is like paper. Okay, so not bubble wrap, but at least it's something. And then here, in a much nicer box, is the router and its little retail box. So let's set this off the side here. And we have a little, looks like a, yeah, this has my address on it a couple times, and then this just has a listing of what I ordered, which was just the router itself there, as you can see. So yeah, that was not as bad as I thought it might be. Yeah, if you take a look, this is the router box itself, like I said, and it does not look too beat up. So yeah, I guess if the outer box takes a beating, that's actually a good thing, because that means that it was taking damage instead of this. So yeah, this is the front of the box. It's got a picture of the router here. It's a pretty nice design. It's blue and black. Sort of cool, not super flashy like some of the high-end routers you see these days are. But yeah, this is a dual-core router with a 1.6 gigahertz CPU, and got 512 megabytes of RAM, so half a gig of RAM. I actually seriously considered like building my own router, honestly, or like getting an old computer and repurposing it, because I'm just tired of the router limiting my internet speed. Because I know that our internet service provider gives us faster internet than what I've been receiving. I know that the bottleneck has been this router, because it's years old, quite a few years old. So yeah, I'm excited to have something that is not going to be a bottleneck any longer. On the top here, it says Linksys Performance Perfected and WRT1900ACS dual band gigabit Wi-Fi router. Like I said, my old router that I had, it was It was a Cisco router, but it looked like a Linksys router. I got it right around the time when Cisco bought Linksys, but like it says Cisco on the top. But yeah, I'm sort of familiar with the Linksys brand because that router sort of acted and was treated by support like a Linksys router. On the back here, we've got a thing. It's got a comparison between the WRT1900ACS, which is this one, and then the previous model, which was the 1200AC. If not the previous model, then that was a previous model for this thing. This thing has 4 antennas. Now 3 of them switch on at any given time based on where your devices are. So yeah, I'm also very excited about that because our current router, once again, years old, and this house that I'm living in now, my old house had great Wi-Fi everywhere. This house has like concrete in all of the walls because it's an older house, and the router is kind of in a corner of it. So then just due to where the home office in this house is, so then when I try and watch TV in the other corner of the house in the basement, the Roku down there does not have a very good Wi-Fi signal right now. Hoping this will help that too. On the side we've got specifications. It's got 1 gigabit WAN port, 4 gigabit LAN ports. This does have a USB 3.0 port as well as an eSATA USB 2.0 port. So if you want to plug an external hard drive into this thing, you can use that as network attached storage. Like I said, it's got half a gig of RAM. It does have a quarter of a gig of, like an eighth of a gig of flash memory for storing things on the router. Not going to be very useful, but yeah. 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, of course it's dual band, and they are gigabit ports. All of the Ethernet ports are gigabit. Yep, and this is it supports 802.11b, A/G, N, and AC. So yeah, it supports different wireless encryption protocols, of course WPA2, personal and enterprise and all that. If you want to use network attached storage, you can use FAT, NTFS, or HFS+. Those are your options for the built-in firmware. Now once again, this thing is really cool because the WRT line is actually made for you to flash open source firmware onto, and I'm really excited about that I'm going to have Linux running on my router, because the router's one thing I've always kind of been a little concerned about. You hear about routers getting hacked and security flaws coming up in router firmwares. I've never had a security flaw that my router was on the affected list for, but it has sort of caught my attention, and of course I'm a big supporter of Linux and open source, so I think it'll be great to have my network running on Linux. Here's a picture of the back of the router. We're just going to open this thing up at this point because we're just stalling right now. Here's system requirements on the bottom. We don't need to worry about any of that. So yeah, we are going to slice this plastic wrap open here, which I should be able to do without a knife. There we go. All right. Hopefully this is an okay unboxing setup. I've done one other unboxing in here. I have not uploaded the video from that yet. But yeah, we'll take the plastic wrap, stick that down here, and here's the box without plastic wrap. We are going to open it up. There we are. I'm not going to drop the router out of it, don't worry, but this is, aha, that is much bigger than I thought it would be. That is much bigger than I thought it would be. Wow. It's bigger than our current router. Very cool. So yeah, it's sitting in some nice styrofoam. The top of this is just cardboard. Let me kind of situate this here on my shoulder, and we'll pull the router out. Interesting. Very interesting. So the antennas are not already on this. This is just the router itself. And it is certainly, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's not super heavy, but looking at these online, my current router is super light. And looking at these, I kind of expected them to all be the same, like sort of just cheapo light weight. I thought that all of the extra beef was just for show, but I can actually see some internals in here, which is cool. And then, because this is basically just a computer. All routers are just computers, but this one's kind of more like a computer because it's so powerful. By the way, this was about $200. And yeah, certainly not cheap feeling at all. So in the box we've got quick start guide for this dual band router here. The back has places where you can write down your passwords. The default password is admin. Of course, I'll be changing that pretty soon. This thing unfolds like so. If replacing the existing router, disconnect that router first. So this just has some quick instructions you can follow if you don't know what you're doing, yet you somehow manage to buy a high-end router instead of something cheaper. And then there is a disc in here. and it is WRT1900. Now this thing just feels cheap. I don't say that about optical media often. Normally a disc is a disc, but this CD does just feel cheap. And it says, this is just documentation. This is not actually software or anything, just documentation. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put that back in there. Should not be needing that. We should be able to figure this out on our own. And then underneath all of that in here, we've still got, this is the styrofoam. In each of these little things is one of the antennas. And so we're just gonna pull those out one by one. And here's the first antenna. This is a little thingy on the back. There's two on, on the side. There's one on each side and then two on the back there. So we'll just take this first one. It sort of looks like a coax connector. But yeah, we're just gonna screw that right on there. And they all look the same, all the antennas look the same, so I assume there's not specific ones for specific places. Alright, so I've just screwed on the base until it is no longer screwing on anymore. And then you can twist and turn the antenna itself to go whatever way you want it to go, which is cool. Generally, the only rule for these is that you don't have them all pointing the same direction. As long as you have some of them pointed, like, you don't want them all parallel. There's no special angles you have to put them at, as far as I know. The last time I talked to some other nerds about this kind of thing, they informed me that you can put it in whatever silly kind of looking configuration you want, but the only important thing is that they're not all pointing the exact same direction, because you're going to maximize your coverage if at least one of them is pointing a different direction. So yeah, I'm just going to put the other three antennas on, twist this one on, get it all set up like so. So there's two, and then we'll do the back ones. Now the front of this thing has quite a few. Oh, I'm smudging up the display here. I don't think it has any plastic on it. But yes, there is the display on the front that's got lights for power, internet connectivity, 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, eSATA, USB 1 and 2, and then the 4 Ethernet ports, as well as Wi-Fi Easy Connect or whatever that's called. And then here's the back. There's the power switch here that you can flip on and off. Yeah, I'm going to put those other two antennas on. There's your 4 LAN ports, your WAN port, USB 3.0, eSATA, reset button right there, that's nice, and power cable connector there. So let's put antennas number 3 and 4 on here. There we go, that one was a little tricky to get started. Alright, the bottom of this thing, by the way, can't see a whole lot through that. Looks like a logic board on the inside, and then there is a sticker on the bottom with some more information about this thing. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Turn this antenna up a bit. We'll put that one straight up. Yeah. And really, there are probably optimal angles you can put these things at. The whole don't have two of them pointing the same direction thing for maximum coverage, that's just a general rule of thumb. That's not like super in-depth. Like I said, that's just what I heard from the last time that I saw these things in person. Last time I saw a router with adjustable... See, this has adjustable antennas. That's a great sign, because my current router does not have any antennas sticking out. It's a wireless router, but it's just like a one flat thing. So yeah. So here's what it looks like all assembled together with the antennas out. Looks pretty cool. In our box here, we've got there's a little slit here that didn't have anything in it. That might have been for documentation. I guess this little flap might have gone into this little slit here to hold that in place. But yeah, we're gonna grab this, take it out, and underneath that, this is nice packaging for a router. In there we've got a couple of things. We've got the power brick, which this does have a wall wart, so this thing has to go into a power strip or the wall. I will be putting into a power strip. It is only 2-prong, so and it looks like the majority of this mass goes sideways. There's a little bit of goop or something on the side of this. You see these little strips here? I don't know what those are. That's like residue from tape. It's not just peeling off. I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, be aware there is a little bit of a power brick for this thing. Like I said, it's 2-pronged, so if you want to use like a little extender, extension cord or something to get that away from your outlet, I'm sure that you can do that with no problem. So here's how long the cord is. It's a good few feet. These things are always... So this does not give you any indication whatsoever how long this thing is, but it's a pretty long cord there. Yeah, 12 volt DC. So I'll just plug this into the back of the router here, like so. Checking to make sure there's not a specific way it has to be turned. There is not on the power plug side. Cool. So there's that. Very last thing in the box is one other cord, and then in here it's got a little bit of writing on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that over here in the corner. But yeah, pretty nice packaging. That had the twisty tie for the cord I threw back in there. This looks like a phone jack. This does not look like RJ45. Is this Ethernet? Oh, I'm completely wrong. That is Ethernet. Okay. So I don't know what spec Ethernet cord this is. It's in a one-time peel-off little bundle thing. So I'll peel that thing off there. Alright, throw that back in the box. Yeah, this is an Ethernet cord. I didn't recognize it because it's actually flat, which is really interesting. I don't know, yeah, let me see if it says anything on it. No, yeah, it's completely unmarked. It's like, I don't know if this is Cat 6 or Cat 5e or what, but yeah, that is actually an RJ45, Ethernet connector. Ethernet, I know, is the standard for transfer, but yeah, it's an RJ45 connector. It plugged into the Ethernet port. But I actually ordered new cables to go with this thing separately because I didn't think it would come with any. And even though it came with that one, I don't know, like I said, what speed that is. Here's a little bonus unboxing for you all. Got some cables from Monoprice. Gotta love Monoprice. And these unboxings are always fun because I don't think I put out the Extra Life 2016 unboxing yet. But I got some things from Monoprice, and they include some weird stuff with their packaging sometimes. I've gotten cereal boxes as like filler in Monoprice boxes before. Not to mention various vouchers for strange things. But we are going to open this box up. And I actually ordered a few different sizes of cable. I doubt that the 100-foot one came in yet. Maybe it did, actually. So we've got a very short Cat 6 Ethernet cable. I got Cat 6 because I only owned one Cat 6 cable before this. Most of the ones in this house are 5E, but some of them are even still Cat 5. But yeah, when I was at my previous basement studio for Nerd on the Street, I had a Cat 6 cable going from the router to my old desktop. Now that's just curled up under my desk because there's not much that I can do with that here because I'm in a different room than the router here. But yeah, this is a Cat 6 cord, and it's like, this is a 5-foot one. It actually says it on the packaging, so that's helpful. So there's a 5-foot one. I got a 10-foot one. So this is going to connect the modem to the router. This is going to connect the router to my mom's computer, which is sitting near the router. And then, sure enough, here is the 100-foot cable. Yeah, I didn't think they would fit it in this box, but they did. 100-foot Cat 6 cable. I'm going to try and actually run this from the office a couple rooms over with the router in it to this room here. Because even though I'm happy that we're going to have improved Wi-Fi signal, I still would like wired internet in my room, at least for my main computer. Because when I'm live streaming and stuff, I don't like to have to deal with problems with that. So yeah, got those from Monoprice. Monoprice I highly recommend if you're getting cables. Let's see what weird stuff we've got today. So with my order, we've got a $50 gift card to HelloFresh. So that's neat. I keep getting these. Here's a $100 wine voucher. And of course, I'm 18, so I can't use that yet. But if they're still good in a few years, who knows? And then here we've got Blue Apron. $30 at Blue Apron. That one I've actually heard of. So yeah, very cool. Like I said, Monoprice always just sends weird stuff in the box, so it's fun to open those on camera. Yeah, the weirdest one was that it was like Reese's Puffs, like a little miniature cereal box I got last time I bought things from Monoprice. That was just crazy. But yeah, so here's the cables that we're going to be using, and then here is the router itself. I'm really excited to get this thing set up, and I think what I'm going to do, now it's nighttime right now, so I'm probably pissing people off just talking right now, But I want to get OpenWRT installed on this thing. Of course, you can only do that over wired connection. You don't want to be installing firmware onto your router over wireless, because if things get corrupted, you're going to mess your router up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run to the other room. I'm going to connect up the modem to this new router, and then I'm going to run the 100-foot cable back to my room here. I'm just going to run it through the hallway for now. I can worry about putting it through the walls tomorrow. But for now, I'll just run that back to my room. I'll start a screen capture up, and then we can actually look at setting this router up. Going to be very cool. Okay, and I just hooked the router up in the other room. Now, I feel like a big idiot because I disconnected the old router and plugged in the new one, but I forgot to install the screen recording software on my computer first. I recently reinstalled my computer, and so I need to get online to download the screen recording software. Right now it appears that the internet just started working automatically for HTTP websites, but HTTPS, none of those websites are working yet. So here's the screen right now, and I'm just doing as much as I need to get screen recording installed first. So as you can see, Firefox says you must log into this network before you can access the internet. Over here you can see wired connection 1, we are connected, and there's Linksys 24762, which is available there. So we are going to open network logon page. Alright, here we go. I have read and accepted the license terms. So this is the default Linksys firmware. So we're not going to use this forever, but we are right now. And then we are going to leave the error reporting unchecked for now. Please wait. So it's going to set up our quote-unquote Wi-Fi, but we are connected over Ethernet right now. Alright, detecting internet, it's going through some different things, getting update information. Alright, there's already an update for the router, and we'll go ahead and leave automatic updates enabled for now. Like I said though, that's obviously not going to do anything once we get the open source firmware on here, but this is for the stock firmware right now. It says almost there. Very helpful progress. Okay, it's probably said almost there for at least as long as it said updating in the first place now. Or please wait, or whatever it said before. Alright, and I am seeing things happening on the network indicator over there. And why don't I go ahead and get all the other crap off of my other screen. Alright, so over here I can see things happening on the wired connection, obviously. Over here we can set up our wireless network settings. And we're going to leave everything the default for now, because once again, we're going to wipe this out and replace it with OpenWRT in a moment here. Network password, once again, we are going to wipe that out in a moment. Alright, so we'll just keep the defaults, only because we're about to reinstall. And honestly, it might not be a great idea to just jump right into using the third-party firmware. Since I'm concerned first and foremost about performance, it might be smarter to leave the stock firmware on here, but you know, I think Linux is cool and OpenWRT is based on Linux, so I'm going to go ahead and install that. And we'll see where it takes us. If we want to revert to stock, hopefully there's a way we can do that later. Oh, we're back to almost there again. Excellent. Great. I just want basic internet so that I can download a screen recording software. Here we go. Create a router password. Is this going to show my, yeah, it's going to show the digits. Alright, hang on. Alright, it says your router is set up. Hang on. Okay, now I dragged Audacity. It actually had the router password on the screen here. But yeah, your router is set up. So we will click next here. Alright, there we go. And create your Linksys Smart Wi-Fi account so that you can access your home network even when you're away from home. That sounds like something we don't want to do. Alright, next. And here is the default Linksys. Now this is a nice interface. This is not a horrible interface. I really liked my old Cisco router's interface, the Linksys, the old one. It had really nice port forwarding. We can run a speed test here. Oh, speed test requires flash. Okay, well, I am kind of interested to do the speed test. Let's open up, I don't have anything with flash installed right now. Okay, well, we are connected to the internet now, so I'm going to go ahead and install Simple Screen Recorder. Here we go. And here you can just watch me copy and paste the commands from the Simple Screen Recorder website, which is bad form. I should be typing them, but I'm holding a camera with one hand. So, you know, if I get hacked, at least it's on video. Alrighty. So we'll open up Simple Screen Recorder. Continue. See if this works here. There we go. Left, right. Whoa. Crap. I just ran out of RAM. I got 16 gigs of RAM, but I still ran out. I just crashed my computer. I should have closed Kdenlive before I did this video. Oh, and my audio is open right now too. No, no. And of course I don't have a swap partition. You can just see my system monitor going crazy over here. Crap, that was a rookie mistake. Okay. Looks like we're recovering. Alright, Firefox crashed. And we're still recording the screen. Wow. Alright, Audacity's still going too. Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to close Blender. I'm going to close Kdenlive and watch this just plummet. Yeah, now I'm not using any RAM whatsoever. Excellent. Okay, guys, that was really scary. Sorry about that. But now we should be screen recording. You should be watching a screen recording of this video right now. We're going to open up Firefox again. This is going to open 1,000 tabs, so pay no attention to the 1,000 tabs. Alrighty. So here, let me get my screen recording software here. Here is our routers page. And I'll close out of everything else. So here's the routers page here. Like I said before, if I try and do the speed test, it's going to tell me I don't have flash. But let's go to speedtest.net, and let's just try this here. This is just stock. I plugged the router in right now. Begin test. I have Charter here in St. Louis. It's called Spectrum now, but we just call it Charter in St. Louis. Oh my god. Holy crap. 131 megabits, whatever. Whoa. I've never seen this get past 30. What's the upload? Okay, well, that figures. That's still just the same as it was before. It's about twice as much as it was before. Upload used to be like 2 or 3 if I'm lucky. Still, wow, 130 download. This is by no means an ad for Charter. I'm not a huge, Charter pisses me off sometimes, but man, 131 download. That is actually way faster than before. That's because I switched the router out, and also I'm on wired now. Man, awesome. Well, I'm very happy with that. Alright, and as you can see, there's some cool stuff built into the stock firmware, like an OpenVPN server that's built into the stock firmware. So you can access your home network from outside of your network if you want to set that up. There's an app center here that you can use, Linksys. So that's for you to get the mobile app to manage your network. So yeah, if I was looking for like a Ubiquiti type plug and play type solution, I actually would not be too disappointed with this. This is a pretty good interface. Now, how would we go about port forwarding? The iMac's in the other room. Here's the servo. The iMac's running Linux. Don't worry, it's running Ubuntu mate. Now reserve DHCP address. So that should give us a static IP. Edit DHCP reservation. Alright, so we can give it... So here's my computer. It's assigned to 152 right now. Alright, so then how would I go about reserving a port for that? Security. Apps and gaming. Here we go, single port forwarding. So if I wanted to run a Minecraft server, I would do 25565. 25565. That's cool, we can do both. And then 1.152, I think, was this address. And I can actually double check that locally here. Yeah, 152. Okay, so if I click apply there, now I can have a Minecraft server running on this computer. So port forwarding, very easy. Man, it's a shame I'm about to wipe this out because I actually do like this interface here. But we're gonna do it. I want to have Linux running on this thing, even though this is probably Linux running anyway. If you've never heard of OpenWRT, it's an open source wireless firmware. It's a little newer than DD-WRT was another popular one, and DD-WRT was specifically for Linksys routers. OpenWRT is for some other ones as well. But yeah, I really want to try out the whole open source firmware thing. So we are going to try downloading this. Let's go to our documentation actually, and you guys can see this kind of happening live. Now this is not going to be very pretty. Obviously this is a pretty interface, but of course I don't worry about pretty here. I just worry about if it gets stuff done. Newcomer's guide might be nice. Downloaded flash, OpenWRT. Yeah, connect to your router using Ethernet, not wireless. Check. Table of hardware. So we have the Linksys. That's how you spell Linksys, right? Yes. Model is WRT1900ACS. Excellent. Alright, device page. Okay, and as you can see, we've got 2016 versions, 2017. I guess these are discussions that are happening. What are these? Okay, cool. Alright, USB to TTL cable is going to allow you to unbrick the router if you brick it. Hope we don't brick it. I did watch some videos on how to do this, so I'm not going into this completely blind. But here is OEM source code. So that's to restore to stock. 1900 ACS. Okay, going back to the newcomer's guide, download. So go to the table of hardware, device page column, takes you to that page. Download the firmware image from the device page. Make sure you've got the right image. Make sure you've got the right version number. And by the way, this was Linksys smartwifi.com that was giving me this UI. I assume that's some host trickery. I assume if you go to that on a non-Linksys router, it's not going to actually go anywhere. But just to check, if we do 192.168.1.1, alright, great, it takes me to the same place. And if I type in my password there, alright, so this is the same thing. So the 192, excellent. That way I can get to it without having to type in a domain. But yeah, if we take a look, so WRT1900ACS, supported since revision. So here's where they added support. Alright, firmware images. Builds released officially by OpenWRT. That sounds like what I want. Stable. I mean, that sounds nice. Third-party builds, we have highly customized, intended to offer complete out-of-box experience. That might be nice. Built for stability, contains OpenVPN, all that stuff. See, I don't need these advanced features, really. OpenWRT is kind of overkill for me, but we're doing it anyway. Versatility and ease of customization. So this one, alright, so stable. Here's our stable build, 15.05.1, and this is kernel version 3.18, which is awesome. Recommended for new members. Okay, so WRT1900ACS. Version 1, system image, and then we've got factory.image, sysupgrade.tar. Alright, we'll download the system image first. Oh, it's only 8.9 megabytes. That's not very big. We'll go ahead and download both. I don't know what the upgrade tar is for, but it's only half as big. Probably for updating from older versions. And then what was this third-party one? Must be installed via sysupgrade or serial. So you cannot install this how I'm about to do it. You have to install this via a serial cable or via an already installed one. So, uploading the firmware image, I saw a video on how to do this. We are going to go to connectivity, router firmware update. We are going to do a manual update from our downloads folder. It is going to be the factory image. It's going to tell us, we're going to click start, it'll tell us that it does not recognize it. Yep. We're going to click yes you do. Yes we do want to continue. And here's where we hope that I didn't just brick the brand new router. Because if I did, I'm going to have to go out and buy a USB to serial cable. Your router is rebooting, okay. Alright, well, this will either work or it won't. If it doesn't, I'll have to plug the old router back in. Try again tomorrow, because it's 1:38 a.m. My sleep cycle is so messed up. So after we downloaded Flash, the next step was log in to OpenWRT, which I might have to look these up on my phone, because once again, I should have had the foresight to load these up before we even switched the router in the first place. Load up the documentation and save it. But I didn't, so that's fine. And this does say, let's see, you may not receive any notification that it's complete. I'm just gonna... Okay, sweet. So I went to 192.168, so this is just done. It's not doing anything anymore. I went to the same 192.168.1.1, which is the router's IP. Username, root, and password. Okay, configure root password. So we are going to go to password configuration. Okay. Can I go to a website right now? Oh, sweet. All right, so I can access the internet. We've installed OpenWRT, but now it's time to get our router configured. We'll need to set that after login. So username is root, password is empty right now. Okay, so these are going to be the default features. Internal interface LAN. All right, Wi-Fi should be disabled. IP of the router is 11. DNS mask is running, so it's going to automatically assign IPs. Alright, and we can actually SSH into this thing as if it were a Linux box, which is awesome. So we're just going to log in. Alright, router password. Alright, and I went ahead and wrote that down as well. So, SSH access. What's this? Do we need to do any of this? Drop bare instance. Alright, we're going to leave everything else the same right now. We're going to save and apply. Okay, configuration applied. So now if we go to 192.168.1.1, no password should not work anymore. Alright, great. So now we've got the interface here. So this is OpenWRT, and we are going to split screen this at this point. So on this page, we've got basic system information, like the version of OpenWRT, which we see right here, Chaos Calmer 15.05.1. And then I hope that this isn't like 2015. It actually probably is because that's when this router was released, but you know, I can hope that it's not still. Kernel version 3.18. See the uptime for the router, that's cool. Router's memory usage, right now we're at 92%. Oh, okay, 92% is available. Huh, cool. Next we'll see the network section. So there's our WAN. We've got 68 active connections right now out of 16,000 possible ones, so we're good there. DHCP leases, we're still at 152 right now. And then here's our wireless, which is disabled right now. Cool, cool. Alright, now I do want to go to this. So SSH access, drop bare instance. Okay, can we, let's see. I don't need to SSH into my router. So I'm thinking I can disable SSH right now. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, yep, this is saying that we need to set the password. We already did that. Way ahead of you, tutorial. Now we need to secure and turn on Wi-Fi. When you install a new copy of OpenWRT, the router Wi-Fi networks are disabled for security reasons until you have a chance to set up the password. So we are going to go to Network and Wi-Fi. And as you can see, this is not quite as pretty, but there are a lot more options than even that Linksys interface had. So yeah, and it is faster because there's not the fancy animations. Alright, so here's the main Wi-Fi page. And here are our two radios. We've got the NAC and the BGN, which would be the, I think, 5 gigahertz and 2.4. And what do we have right now? Wireless, nothing. Okay. Alright, so we're going to click Edit here. Change the mode. Width. So this is definitely the 5 gigahertz. But you can change your channel if you really want to. And I may have to look at that later. Because see, this is the kind of thing that the other firmware took care of for you. Now you have the task of selecting your channel. What if we set it to auto? We'll just set the channel to auto. Hopefully that doesn't like make things super slow or anything. Our SSID is going to be White House. This is the 5 gigahertz. Mode is access point, yes. And it is our LAN that we want to have this connect to. Wireless security, encryption, here we go. So we want WA2 PSK. Oh, cool. All right, so you can force a specific cipher if you want. So you drop down box labeled encryption. We want to select WPA2 PSK. Yep, that's what I did. Don't need to do anything cipher. We can set that to auto. Key, you can type in your key. All right, now this is actually going to show the password. We don't want to do that, but we can click save and apply. All right, so that's White House 5, and then we can come down here. We'll do the same thing for what we're going to call White House 2.4. Don't ask why I'm calling it White House. It's an inside joke in this new house I'm living in. Channel, we're going to do auto again. What are the advanced settings up here? Huh. Interesting. So, but yeah, for the channels, you can say they all start with 2.4 because they're all 24 or 2.4 gigahertz channels, 2400 megahertz. Wireless security, same thing as before. All right, save and apply. Okay, and now you can enable these. So we'll do 2.4 first. Is that going to enable both? No. It just enabled one. And then after about 15 seconds, it should no longer say disabled. Cool. So we're going to enable 5 gigahertz as well. All right, and associated status. 2.42. All right, we've got quite a few things popping up here. Okay, so these must be the different, what are these? Yeah, we've got quite a few of these associated status popping up. I thought for a moment that they might be the 4 different antennas, but now we've just got a bunch of different stuff. But, alright, so White House 2.4 actually connected automatically because I set it the same password as before. So at this point, I just disconnected from Ethernet, and let's go to speedtest.net again. And just for kicks, let's see, and this is awfully slow right now, we probably have to set DNS or something. Okay, so speedtest.net, let's see what our Wi-Fi speed is right now, and this is not great signal, once again, in this old house, but see what this will be. Jeez. Alright, so you can see over Wi-Fi I'm only getting 40 to 50 megabytes per second down. Of course, it's never that fast in practice, but this is just for the speed test. 45, yeah. Which is still, like, higher than what I was getting before with the old router. And yeah, hopefully this will reach downstairs in this house a little bit more. Upload is about the same as I was getting already. About 5 up. Okay. And now we are going to connect to wired, disconnect from wireless, and we're going to run that test again. And we'll see if the speed difference was from wired versus wireless. No, it was not. Or, I mean, yes, it was. And see, now we're getting 130, 131, which is like what we were getting before, actually. But yeah, I was just making sure that OpenWRT did not slow our router down. You can see I'm getting the same speed, if not a little bit faster, with OpenWRT out of the box. It did not slow anything down. Now, it would have been interesting to test the Wi-Fi speed before OpenWRT. But since I'm going to be plugged in anyway with this new 100-foot Ethernet cable I bought, I'm mostly concerned about this. And then we've got 5.7. Wow, that's really consistent upload. Sweet. So there's my new router. And I'm pretty happy with this so far. And there's more guides that you can follow. I'm sure you can look through here. Now DHCP and DNS. You can go. So this is all of the things. Alright, so this is interesting. So since I called the networks the same things as before and gave it the same password, somebody in this house has a Galaxy S7 that automatically connected to the router. Jacob laptop, interesting that that's in there. Oh, that's Kirsten's laptop downstairs, actually. So yeah, my mom's iPhone. We've got the iMac in the other room. Yeah, and then we've got DHCP things. I'm sorry, DHCP 6 things. IPv6 addresses assigned there. Cool. Now, static leases used to assign fixed IP addresses. I used to use this kind of thing all the time, and this was actually really important. I made sure it was easy to do this, because sometimes, like when I'm running a Minecraft server for Displaced, say, I do have to run a server. I have to give my computer a static IP, and I have to map a port to that. So yeah, this is how you would do that, and you can select the MAC address from a drop-down of, oh, and it even helpfully shows you, so like 152, that's the serval workstation. IPv4 address is going to be 192.168.1.101. Save and apply. So that has been saved and applied. So now, if I disconnect from this wired network, connect again, and then I open up a terminal, I have config. .101. Sweet. So now I have a static IP on my laptop. Cool. Oh. Alright, so 8.8.8.8, 8.8.4.4. So those are going to be our DNS servers. So there's our DNS server set up right there. And let's say that I did want to go ahead and set up. Alright, so this is static routes. This is not port forwarding. If I wanted to go ahead and forward the Minecraft server, for instance, I can go to Firewall, Port Forwards, Minecraft, select your protocol, both is an option. External zone, external port 25565, LAN, and then serval workstation 25565. Save and apply. And now I can host a Minecraft server, I think. Now it's not showing up right there. If I refresh this, well. Let's check this here. 25565. Is that open right now? It's closed. Alright, this video's gotten to be pretty long already. My audio is at 1 hour and 13 minutes now. So I'm actually going to call it here. I am confident that OpenWRT has working port forwarding. I just you know, it's 2 a.m. right now and I can't get it to work right now. Luckily, I don't need it at this moment, but eventually I want to get that working. But yeah, as of right now, I'm just going to run the speed test again, because it's freaking amazing. Like, I'll be able to watch videos and stuff without freaking buffering anymore. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Very happy with this new router, and I hope that you guys all enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing a little bit of OpenWRT here. If you want more videos in the future, like say that you want OpenWRT, and eventually, like I said, I'll figure out the whole port forwarding thing. If you're actually interested in this kind of thing and you want to see more videos about it, by all means, leave a comment below. I will most certainly make another video on this with some of the more advanced features here. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to call the video here, and I'm going to start some downloads and call it a day. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This was the Linksys WRT1900ACS router with OpenWRT on it. I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.